Welcome back, bros, to another video review, and today we have the opportunity to take a look at the Transformers Rise of the Beast Studio Series 105 Autobot Mirage. So for the contents, this is what we get inside. We get Autobot Mirage himself, and he comes with one accessory, which is his cannon, which converts his arm into a cannon, which I think is very cool, and it looks good. The instruction manual, which is standard to all Transformer figures. And then this is a studio series, which I normally don't show, is going to be the backdrop, which is what he comes with. Now, the backdrop here, I find it very interesting because I don't recall Mirage really in front of this backdrop too much. I think it's maybe before he enters in that warehouse to meet the fellow other Autobots, but I'm not quite remembering where this is. But anyway, we finally get a licensed vehicle from the Porsche. With this being said, I think this might make the pathway easier to get a masterpiece Jazz coming hopefully soon in the near future. But anyway, this is it for the contents. So now it's time to take a closer look at the details on this Studio Series Autobot Mirage figure. And this is what we get. Now, earlier sample models had the figure looking way different. I'm glad they scratched that because it was going to look more like the mainline figure release of the version of the head. But now Hasbro has corrected it to the more accurate movie version, which is the final version of the CGI that was used to create Mirage. Now that looks great and incredible. I think Studio Series definitely captured that. Now, the paint details, of course, on the face are mainly on the face. They don't extend all the way around the head of Mirage. Now, I feel like that would have been cool if they would have gave the blue going around to where Mirage's ears would be on the helmet, all the way back to the little piece that goes around his neck. But that's just me nitpicking. When it comes to the overall satisfaction of this figure, I think they did a good job. They definitely got the vehicle chest torso region right, which is incredible, which I don't understand, or I can't fathom how they were able to figure this out, but they did an incredible job. The arms, on the other words, I don't mind the forearms being clear, translucent plastic, but of course, as we know with translucent plastic, it tends to break over a period of time. So I am a little worried about that. But when you put the cannon on his left hand or left forearm, as you see, with the clear plastic, it makes it look good in my opinion. And it makes it look a little bit uniform. Now, looking from the torso on down, hopefully it can show very well. I'm going to angle the light a little bit. Now you see where Mirage is at, where you have the circle. I feel like they could have painted that a little bit to pick it out, because that's supposed to be silver right there, as you can see with the Mirage CGI I have beside it. And then looking at the legs, I feel like they missed an opportunity on the legs. It's just all plastic and the molded vehicle parts. Now, as I let go of the light, I feel like right there, they could have at least incorporated the lights right there, and then the little blue right up in here. But we don't get that with the Studio Series, so that's just me nitpicking. Is it perfect? No. But is it satisfying? Yes. This Mirage figure looks definitely good, and it resembles what we received or what we saw in the movie. So let's take a look at the articulation on this figure. So Mirage is limited a little bit with the head because you have the parts right here. But if you got the part actually compressed all the way in, you can get Mirage looking left and you can get Mirage looking right. He does not have a up and down. Well, he has a little bit of a down, as you saw. And he can look up that far, so it's not very good, but it's basic for what we get for deluxe size figures, but we normally get more. Now the arm is on a ball joint, so it could definitely go a full 360. This does not hinder it. It definitely bends 90 degrees, and it does have a swivel right here on the upper bicep. It does have For the hands, you can rotate them, and that's for transformation purposes. The leg can kick up this far. The legs they can bend 90, but you do have to move stuff around to get Mirage to do a full bend. The foot right here can rock forward and basically stay in position. And then with this being a ball joint, you can have the foot have a little bit more dynamic and posability. And it does have a waist swivel, as you can see, but it is limited by Mirage's vehicle's doors. So with that being said, you have to angle them a certain way to get Mirage to hold some more dynamic poses of your choosing, if you would like to do that. And here, this is basically all the articulation we get from Mirage. I'm trying to stand them up, guys. So yes, that's basically all the articulation we get from Mirage. And it's standard with all other size deluxe figures recently that we've received in Studio Series Waves, and also Kingdom and Legacy, and also Earthrise, and also any other ones that you can think of. So guys, it's time for comparisons, and this is my favorite part of the review. As always, I love doing comparisons, and hopefully I give you enough comparisons where you can see how well this figure will look and scale in your collection. So here we are. I'm going to start it off. Here we have the Transformers Rise of the Beast 3-pack, which is Mirage figure that comes in that 3-pack. With that being said, I have customized, paint jobbed my figure, so it does not look as it should in robot mode, because there is a custom paint job that I did, which you can see if you want to click the link. You can see how I did it and see where I started, where I ended, with the link above. Anyway, here we have the two figures compared. As you see right here, both figures have some very good qualities. Now, I will say one thing. I do feel like the Studio Series Mirage is superior than the mainline release of that came in the buzzworthy Bumblebee Jungle 3-pack. As you can see, looking at the faces, the 3-pack, that is the original face that was made for Mirage. Now, the new face on the new Studio Series is more screen accurate. But as you see right there, they both have that faux chest of the vehicle, which still looks good on both copies. Of course, on the Studio side, it's more transformable, because it also comes when you, through transformation, becomes the front end of the lights for the vehicle. But anyway, as you see, now the 3-pack version of Mirage is definitely taller, so you're not seeing nothing. You're not crazy. You are absolutely right. It is taller. The Studio Series is more in scale towards the Voyager size class and the Deluxe size class and the core class of figures you'll see very shortly. But as you see, the lower half on both figures were pretty lacking in paint details. So as you see right here with the paint job I did on this figure, I feel like Hasbro could have incorporated some of this paint on the actual figure lower half of the of Mirage. I feel like with what we're paying, the $24.99 for the price hike, I think they could have splashed a little bit more paint to at least break up the gray plastic, which is sort of painted in that silver, and then the all black plastic. Now, I would have loved for them just to add a little bit of blue, but like I said, I feel like I'm nitpicking when I did the details section. But overall, the comparison on the two, definitely, in my opinion, Studio Series is definitely superior in vehicle mode and also on the head sculpt. But I do feel like on the height, the Jungle 3-pack is like, you know, the tallest one. And Mirage was pretty tall in the movie. He was definitely well over Bumblebee, definitely well over RC. And, you know, he was probably about half to 3/4 way of Optimus Prime. So let's continue these comparisons. I got tons of figures to compare with Studio Series Mirage. So let me stop talking and get comparing. So here we are for my next part for comparisons. Here I have Studio Series Autobot Mirage 105. with all the other characters that I pretty much have of the Autobots and Maximals here before you. Now, I will say Mirage definitely looks good when compared to the Studio Series figures. When it comes to the main line and the weaponizers, not so much. But overall, like I said, the Studio Series Mirage definitely fits in with your detailed Studio Series type figures. And he could actually fit in with your mainline figures if you would like to add them in there. But like I said, Mirage is very good and is a smaller size deluxe. So here we are for my final comparison after moving the Mirage from the Jungle 3-pack, the Buzzworthy Bumblebee exclusive. Here I went ahead and included the Takara Tomy Beast Awakening Ultimate Optimus Primal here, just so you could see how tall Mirage is compared to that figure, just to know what you're getting and how he scales with all of the figures in the various lines from the Transformers Rise of the Beast figures. So now it's time for transformation. So now that we have Mirage transform into its alt mode, as you saw in the transformation, yes, it takes a bunch of fidgeting and compressing and then recompressing just to have everything aligned correctly. But as you can see right here, mine, I've been trying to compress and press and squeeze. I have it transformed right. There is a little gappage right here. I've transformed it multiple times, and now all of a sudden, when it's time for video, it doesn't want to compress all the way right there. But anyway, let's continue it. As I was saying, guys, with this being the painted plastic, so you are going to get some scratches here because I already got scratches on my copy. I got some right here on the hood. And here we go. The doors. The doors are pretty tricky because they keep coming apart when you try to compress this even more. But overall, yes, I do see the Studio Series Mirage more chipping right there in the front, or it's the lack of paint details, a different paint right here, some splotches. So yes, my copy is not perfect, but what I will say is perfect, this Porsche right here, printed right here on the vehicle. The Autobot symbol is pretty spot on. I don't have any issues. As small as it is, it actually looks pretty darn good. And then the Porsche on this symbol looks good too. Now, I would have loved if they would have painted these tires to give them a silver. But all in all, there's not much robot hanging underneath the body of the car. It compresses very nicely. So yes, this is what we get once we have a transform and we have an official licensed Porsche. So now it brings me to the part of the comparisons. And here I want to start off with the comparison in vehicle mode of the 3-pack from the Jungle Mission 3-pack from the Buzzworthy, which was a Target exclusive. Here we have the mainline Mirage compared to the Studio Series Mirage. And as you can see some of the same similarities as in where they were trying to get some of the details on this vehicle. But now with an official licensed vehicle, the Studio Series version blows the Jungle 3-pack out of the water. And as you can see right here, they're pretty much the same vehicle, or at least trying to be, but the details are just not even close compared to the Studio Series figure. Yes, the Jungle Mission 3-pack Bumblebee was good as a placeholder, but now we have the perfect vehicle right here with the new Studio Series Mirage. So here we are for comparisons. Here I have the Studio Series Mirage compared with other fellow figures from the Autobots, whether they are the mainline release or the Weaponizers 2-pack versions. I just want to say Mirage looks good. Of course, Mirage is not in scale compared to the Wheeljack. Definitely in scale compared to the Jungle Mission 3-pack Bumblebee, because that looks good. And I'll say also, I feel like for the length, he's in scale with RC from the Studio Series, but of course the bike just seems way too tall, in my opinion, when comparing the height of the Studio Series Mirage. But when looking at the mainline release of the Optimus Prime, of course, Optimus Prime is too small in his truck mode compared to Mirage. And here we are with another comparison with some more mainline figures. Here we have the mainline Rhinox and also the mainline Optimus Primal. Now, when compared to these beasts right here, I want to say they look more accurately in scale. Yes, I know the Studio Series has the figure slightly a little bigger, but I'm okay with that if you want to use the mainline as a fill-in. And here we have a bonus comparison. Here we have the War for Cybertron Siege Transformers Mirage right here. And then we also have the Earthrise Blue Streak from the Buzzworthy Bumblebee exclusive that used to be at Target. But if you're interested in finding that figure, check your local Ollie's for that. But as you see right here, here we have Mirage in that Formula One Cybertronian race car. And we have the Mirage from the Transformer Rise of the Beast, where he actually made a homage to its G1 alt mode in the movie. And as you can see right here, I like the way he scales with Blue Streak, because it definitely looks the same size vehicle, even though we have a Porsche and then we have this newer like Nissan Datsun Fairlady Z 280 mold with the Earthrise Prowl mode. So here we are, we reached a portion of my review where I like to share the Yeah Bro figure pickup or pass grading system, where I like to share my thoughts, my opinions, and hopefully give you some insight on a figure that I picked up that you may be interested in picking up or ultimately deciding to pass on the various figure that I am reviewing right now before you. So yes, guys, I do believe this is going to be a pickup in my opinion. I do think the Studio Series 105 Autobot Mirage from the Transformer Rise of the Beast does satisfy a figure placehold on our shelf. And the reason why I say that, because this figure actually, despite the little bit of flaws it does have, it actually is a pretty good figure. With that being said, guys, I will come clean and tell you the truth. When I did transform this figure multiple times, eventually after like the 5th time of transforming it, the hip piece just comes off on my figure. So yes, I did have to put a little clear nail polish coating to keep the, I guess you could say, the crotch area tied to the mushroom peg, which is right there on the back of the figure. So yes, if you have transformed a bunch of times and you end up swiveling them a little bit too, I guess, hard, the hips will come off the mushroom peg, and therefore you have to do like what I said, either use the forearm polish or the nail polish. But anyway, getting back to the figure right here is definitely painted very well, in my opinion. The only thing about this Studio Series figure is that over time, I do feel like the paint job on this figure will get scratched due to transformation. There are pegs, little tiny pegs that have to be pegged in the front of the vehicle, and not only that, in the back of the vehicle, which ultimately, if you end up becoming impatient with it or rough with it, could cause you to scratch the nice paint job that Hasbro and Takara has given us for this nice, beautiful Porsche vehicle. And when it comes to the molding on this figure, it is brand new. I'm not going to say it borrows any parts from the previous version, because it technically doesn't. The only thing it might borrow is sort of like the arms, where you compress them down to around the sides. Other than that, it is a brand new transformation, and it's definitely more advanced in the engineering for transformation. So it's definitely not for beginners, but it's enough of a challenge for fans and collectors that may like this figure. When it comes to the playability and the execution in vehicle mode is terrific, in my opinion. It definitely looks like the vehicle. What we saw in the movie theaters, I just wish the headlights weren't practically the same color as the vehicle. I kind of wish they were like light or cream, or maybe like a cream light blue or something, just to give it that appearance as if they're actually on, than having them in that silver color in which the car is painted in silver. And then also you can pose it in various dynamic poses in robot mode. So yes, this figure is a pickup in my opinion, and I apologize for drooling over this figure for you. So if you're interested in picking up a copy of this figure, I got my copy from Amazon.com, where I end up ultimately paying $24.99 plus taxes. So if you're interested in picking up a copy of this figure, I will have the link below in the description. It was in stock. I'm not sure if it currently is, but if you don't find it there, keep your eyes open on other online retailers like Hasbro Pulse, Big Bad Toy Store, GameStop, TF, Source, maybe even Entertainment Earth, just to name a few. But anyway, like I said, the link is below in the description if you would like to purchase this copy of this figure from Amazon. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. By doing these 4 actions, it shows my channel a tremendous amount of support, and not only that, positive feedback as a YouTube creator of content. In addition to that, please turn on your notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video for you to check out. Thank you once again for spending your time watching my video, and until next time, yeah, bro, I'll see you soon.